Hey guys, Pawnce here. And about a month ago, you might recall that I made the promise that if we managed to raise more than $700 for EXP Bars, a 24-hour Extra Life charity marathon stream thing, I would make this video about why Pawnce should be dead, because vaguely relates to the whole children's hospital thing, where the money went. So yeah, thanks to Mohammed, Lucas, Wade, Jonas, Anonymous Person, Victor, Idris, Eddie, Soul, James, Brian, and Logan, we did surpass that goal. So sorry if I mispronounced anyone's name, and if I missed anyone because they didn't, write down, your name in conjunction coming from this channel. But in any case, yeah, your guys' money went to helping kids and stuff. So thanks a lot, guys, and yeah, we're going to move on to the video and me explaining what's going on. So from this first little picture here, which was done with my awesome MS Paint skills, you can probably guess that it has something to do with being hit by a car. So yeah, I was in third grade at the time, so I was 9 years old. This is ancient history. Cars had just been invented. Anyway, so I was coming back because I was sort of late. I was in detention, I believe, for something. Um, Clearly, I was falsely accused of something. But anyway, I was coming home sort of late. I wanted to get home, so I didn't go to the crosswalk, which should have been further on, the right-hand side of the screen if this picture was bigger. Um, and so, yeah, I cut across the field here, and I was coming across the street. And I was following this guy called Brandon. He was probably also in detention as well, knowing his general character. But yeah, I was following him home, and we live very close. And he like runs across the street. And I'm like, "Hey, Brandon, wait up!" And then I recall at the time actually thinking I did check both ways on the street, but for whatever reason I just didn't see this car here. Um, excuse me. And I said, I'm drunk, LOL. I don't think he was actually drunk. As far as I recall, in fact, I don't think he was actually of legal drinking age at the time. He was just kind of a new, inexperienced driver, and he wasn't paying any attention. And so he was going 70 kilometers an hour. You Imperial people convert that on your own, or just learn the metric system. Um, Anyway, so he was going 70 kilometers. He didn't even see me. He didn't hit the brakes, so he like slams into me. I go flying up into the air and then come smashing back down on the concrete. And this other guy in the car, I don't know where he was actually sitting. The guy I have saying, dude, you're like gonna hit that wizard." He didn't actually say that. He said something more along the lines of, "You just hit someone." And then the guy's like, "What?" And then he hits the brakes, after the fact. And so yeah, that happened, and then the next thing I remember is basically waking up at the hospital. I don't know if this was the next day or later that day or what, but I'm just like a stupid 9-year-old. So I mean, I can figure I'm pretty badly injured, and so actually about a week or later that week or about a week after that happened, I was supposed to go to this thing called outdoor school, which was twice in the course of elementary school. There was this sort of thing called outdoor school. It's like a big camp thing that you all do, and I was really looking forward to that. I wanted to do that. So I'm like, am I going to be able to go to outdoor school? And they're like, no. In fact, we're kind of surprised you're alive because, well, you should be dead. And yeah, so apparently I didn't die because I have high hit points or armor stat or I don't know something. And yeah, so we're going to go over the list of injuries here. I spent the next like month or something in the hospital. Maybe it was more. I don't really remember how long it was. I just remember like having to do homework in the hospital with one busted arm. And I actually, within the first few days, I remember I was trying to play. They had a regular Nintendo Entertainment System. And I was trying to play that with one arm. I didn't do poorly. I'd move around with my my right hand, and then on the D-pad, and then I would mash the other keys. So I'd jump and do nothing but jump kick over and over again. And I was actually making fairly good progress in like I think it was the Turtles with Time game or something like that. It was one of the Ninja Turtle games. But then they had me on a bunch of drugs, so I started feeling sick looking at this shit moving around on the screen. So I stopped playing. I also couldn't drink water, which really sucked. Like they wouldn't let you drink anything. So I think eventually they let me chew on ice after a while. But anyways, going over the injuries here. At the time, now a lot of this stuff resulted from something I think I recall them saying. I mean, I was 9 years old, so this is like I don't know a million years ago. I'm almost 30 now, but I recall them saying something about a seventh and 12th nerve. I don't really know what that means exactly because, even to this day, soft tissue stuff is not exactly within my realm of expertise. I'm more of a skeletal structure sort of guy. That's where more of my schooling came in. But anyway, as a result of a bunch of nerve damage, my left eye wouldn't move properly. Like it wouldn't come past the halfway point, and it would just be stuck on the left side. So as a result, I had double vision. And fortunately, that fixed itself because that would have really sucked if that had stayed that way. Which is kind of interesting because apparently nerves aren't supposed to really regenerate all that well, but mine did. So yeah, I can see now. They had me wear these prism glasses for a while, and this guy I knew used to come over with this electro machine thing that sent waves through my face, and for whatever caused it, it's fixed now. Um, Other than that, the one of the two injuries or in like things that are still wrong with you to this day is I still actually have overactive saliva glands, which is also a result of nerve damage. So when I'm in the house, I just deal with it. But when I'm outside, I'm spitting a lot. So if you're hanging out with me in real life and you see me spitting into bushes, that's what that is. But yeah. Um, Other than that, the other problem I still have to this day, it's not a problem, but one of my shoulders, just to illustrate that it's not really a problem. I don't even know which shoulder it is, but one of my shoulders is missing a muscle. Now that's not an issue because basically all the other muscles around it grew larger to compensate for the fact that this thing is just not there. So, um, yeah, so one of my shoulders is like very slightly higher than the other. And you can't tell unless I take my shirt off and I'm just like kind of standing perfectly straight. Um, I'm not sure if the higher one or the lower one is the messed up one because, like I said, all the muscles around this one muscle are bigger as a result. It had something to do with like the muscle that's mainly responsible for like when you do pull-ups. But I mean, I don't have trouble with pull-ups to this day. So, like I said, it's really not an issue. Also, yeah, if you look at my back, while my back muscles and how they move, if I'm doing an exercise like this, they move slightly differently. I remember like noticing that years and years ago. So, yeah, I mean, if I really cared, I could probably figure out which shoulder is messed up, but it's not really an issue. Aside from that, at the time, just being generally scraped up and like cuts and shit everywhere. So I looked pretty messed up at the time. But I had also a cracked left wrist, I believe. Yeah, it was my left wrist. My pelvis was cracked, and my left femur, that's like the long bone in the leg, the left one, was split in half. So you notice everything was on the left side. Presumably that's because when I was crossing the street, I would have been hit on my left side and then came smashing back down. So yeah, as I'm going to get into in a second here, my left femur being split in half was the biggest issue. Generally, when a long bone gets split in half, it's going to cause problems. So for the longest time, that actually had big metal pins, like these bolt things sticking out of it, and that was holding it in place just so it would glue itself back together. Um, and then they took those out after a while. I don't remember how long they were in there, or maybe they were still in at the time. No, they took them out. I think within a couple months. And then so I finally got out of the hospital, and so just to kind of celebrate, I went to this sort of spa resort kind of or hot spring sort of thing with my family. And as you can see here, there's another awesome drawing. I was kind of climbing in, holding onto that railing thing, and I slipped. And my leg, it wouldn't have been an issue if it wasn't injured. I mean, I kind of fell into this sort of kneeling position. But my leg wasn't actually capable of doing that at the time yet. So my leg got like messed up again. And so I'm sitting there going, this kind of hurts. But, oh well, it kind of hurts, but whatever. So I kept walking around on this like really injured leg, and I probably should have known better because it was kind of swollen up and it wouldn't bend like entirely correctly. But yeah, I kept walking around on this for like a month or 2 months or something. And since this is a really major accident, again, doctors thought I probably should have been dead. I go back to check up in the hospital every once in a while. So several months later, the doctor's looking at my leg and he goes, "Oh my God, what the hell is wrong with this thing? Surgery right now." And I'm sitting there going, "Oh crap." So yeah, then as a result of the surgery, they stuck a big metal plate in my leg. So that was there to hold it in place, and so I couldn't destroy my leg again. I was in a body cast for the rest of the summer. No, that was a bit unfortunate because it was really hot that summer, and body casts are not comfortable, and I was lying there in bed the whole time. Now, as a one positive result of this is I played an RPG for the first time ever, more specifically Final Fantasy 4 and 6, shortly thereafter. First 4, then 6. So yeah, I'd never played an RPG before that, and I started playing JRPGs. So yeah, moral of the story: get hit by a car, you'll be introduced to JRPGs. But anyway. So I guess that was good, sort of. Yeah, other than that, yeah, I guess yeah. After the summer was done, they took the body cast off, and then about a year later, they had another surgery which removed the metal plate. So no, I don't have metal in me to this day. Interesting note: I did go to Japan in the interim once to see sort of extended family, and metal plates in the leg don't set off the metal detectors. I thought that was kind of neat at the time. Yeah, there's not really much else to that. Like I said, it's old news. So other than the spitting every once in a while, and apparently one of my shoulders is weird. Uh, no, this stuff all fixed itself. So there you have it. That's the story why Pawnce should, in theory, be dead, but isn't for whatever reason, and is now making League of Legends videos and just yeah, weird stuff like this. All right, so yeah, I'll see you guys around. And again, thank you to Mohammed, Lucas, Wade, Jonas, the anonymous person, Victor, Idris, Eddie, Soul, James, Brian, and Logan. Yeah, that's it for now. Goodbye.